Well, that is one more build down. I would now like to present my Redstone Farm, capable of producing up to 24,000 redstone an hour, with a standard production rate of 4,000 an hour. This machine should satisfy all your redstone needs. Coming in with a size profile of 12 long, 9 wide, and 10 tall, this machine is extremely efficient with a medium size impact. The machine has 4 inputs total, 2 for your items and 2 for power. Item input is going to be blaze rods and netherrack. Power input is 4,352 SU at a 128 RPM and 2,560 SU at a 80 RPM, for a total 6,912 SU. Now then, let's see how it works. Here we have your item inputs. You have blaze rods on your left, netherrack on your right. The two signs that you see on your left and right tell you how big your item vault storage is for each of these materials. As you see here, the blaze rod storage is 2 item vaults, and the netherrack storage is 3 vaults. Of course, if you're automatically feeding your rods and your netherrack into the vaults themselves, you don't need to worry about those limitations. However, if you are feeding them manually, try to stay under that max stack limitation, otherwise these funnels here will stop working. So your blaze rods are going to be fed into these 2 crushing wheels, which then produces the blaze powder, which then goes into this basin here to turn it into a potion of strength. The netherrack gets fed into this set of crushing wheels, which turns into the cinder flour. Cinder flour is temporarily stored into this item vault here, and then spat onto this belt to be evenly distributed into the brass tunnel here. The nether wart is being generated by a farm that I have underneath the machine itself. This nether wart farm is capable of supporting the base production rate of 4,000 an hour. The portable storage interface on that contraption meets with this one, sending the nether wart into the item vault here. And that harvesting contraption is set to automatically turn off once this item vault reaches 18 stacks of storage, 90% of its total. It does so because of the stockpile switch in this redstone link. If we pick up this contraption, as you'll see, there's a redstone link here which powers this controller rail on and off as needed. The andesite funnel on the nether wart storage spits it out into the basin, which creates the awkward potion. As for supplying our blaze burner, I'm using a small scale lava dripstone method. So we have 4 cauldrons here, which should be plenty to supply a single blaze burner, and we have this mechanical arm here. The mechanical arm will take a full lava bucket from this bottom depot, use it on the blaze burner here, and deposit the empty bucket into this brass funnel here, which drops under the depot to then get filled with lava again, which then gets dropped onto the bottom depot. Cycle repeats itself. The water being supplied to your basin is right here being waterlogged with these stairs. Please be aware that you do need a block underneath that middle spot in order for the infinite water to generate. In this case, I'm using stairs. After the potion of strength is made, it gets pumped out of these fluid pipes by these 2 mechanical pumps, which then gets fed into this line of 7 spouts. With 7 spouts, you have a near 100% efficiency rate for your basin. At most, this mechanical mixer will rest for a second, maybe a second and a half, before it starts spinning again to make the next set of potions. Cinder flour ends up underneath the spouts, which inject the cinder flour with the strength potion to turn them into redstone. That redstone collects into this item vault and then drops down into the barrel for easy storage and collection. Now then, how about I show you how to build that nether wart farming contraption. Go ahead and set yourself down a rail on a block with the cart assembler on top, and go ahead and set down a lever, that way we can power this cart assembler. Once you have your cart assembler down, take a look at it with your wrench and make sure it's set to lock rotation. To get your orientation correct, you'll just need to set down your chassis first, and then one to each side of it. Then go ahead and break your chassis and then set down your barrel, then extend both sides of the chassis out by another 3 blocks. Now you'll take your super glue and right click twice on each chassis, that way you glue both sides of the chassis. Once that's done, go ahead and take your wrench and hold control while you're hovering over a chassis, and then scroll downwards so that all of your chassis are set to 1. After that, you're going to be taking your mechanical harvesters and setting up 1 on each of the chassis spots that you glued. Once that's done, you're going to take your portable storage interface and then right click it so that it's facing upwards on this second block here. Last thing that you're going to do is you take your super glue and glue this chassis to that chassis, and this portable storage interface to the chassis underneath it. Now that you're done building it, take your minecart, set it into the cart assembler, flip the lever, and then wrench it to get your contraption. Then just go to the front of your machine like this and just set it down. And there it goes. Now that I've shown you how it works, let's take a look at the filters and configurations. Your left funnel above your barrel is going to be a blaze rod, and your right funnel is going to be netherrack. This funnel here should be set to netherrack, and your output funnel here should be set to cinderflower. No adjustments are needed on the brass tunnel, just make sure it's in its split mode. Your brass funnel here above the portable storage interface should be set to nether wart. Your brass funnel above the spout should be a empty bucket, and the brass funnel between the depots should be a lava bucket. Your smart fluid pipe here is going to be set to a strength potion, and this basin here does have a filter set on it to allow for awkward potion and potion of strength. Your sending redstone link should be set to 2 nether wart, or whatever frequency that you prefer. And we have our stockpile switch here with a 90% 10% inverted signal. And here we have our receiving redstone link with again the double wart frequency, or again whatever you prefer. 2 points I do wish to make clear is that this nether wart farm here will not support the full 24,000 redstone an hour capability. I built it to sustain the standard 4K production rate that was voted on by my subscribers. If you do wish for this machine to be capable of supporting a full 24,000 an hour without any stops, then all you need to do is make yourself a bigger nether wart farm and feed it into this item vault here. And to give you some more specifics about the numbers here, with a full item vault, full in this case being the 18 stacks of the stockpile switch here, the machine can produce 46,000 redstone on a full item vault. So if you aren't running the machine for a while and then turn it on, you can expect that much as your output, before it goes back down to its 4,000 an hour. As for the second point I'd like to clarify, is that these crushing wheels here are actually spinning faster than they need to. The 80 RPM will be able to make these crushing wheels support up to 30,000 cinder flour an hour. The reason it's set to 80 as opposed to 64, which would be more in line with the production rate of the actual spouts themselves, is to give some wiggle room for the cinder flour production, seeing as it's not a guarantee to get as much as it needs. But yes, you are free to turn this up or down as you wish. As for your first line of power input, you are free to turn this down if you don't need the full production rate, or if you're trying to conserve on SU. But be aware that you cannot actually speed it up above 128. This is its max speed. Now then, after you have it built, which I do recommend using the schematic cannon for, it will make this a whole lot easier for you. You just have a few simple steps that you need to do before you're ready to turn it on. First up, you just want to grab your minecart contraption and just set it down on this rail right here. And go ahead and take a look at your redstone link and then shift right click it twice. That way it gets a update like you did with the redstone link below. Go ahead and just shift right click this one twice to give it a redstone update. Grab yourself your wrench and then just break one vault on each of these vaults here. Then just go ahead and replace them. That way the multi-block structures get updated. Go ahead and flip these 2 trapdoors here and then set down 4 buckets of lava. While you're at it, you can take your empty bucket and set it down right here on this depot. And then you'll need 2 buckets of water, putting one of them on this set of stairs and the other one on this set of stairs. And then just take a peek to make sure that you have your infinite source, which we do. That should be all the necessary prep work. As for rotation adjustments, it should be pretty simple. All you should need to do is replace this shaft with a gearbox and this shaft with a gearbox, but that is dependent on your rotation. Your mechanical pumps, you'll need to actually hook up your power before you can tell, but both of them do need to be facing up. And of course, both of your mechanical pumps do need to be facing the spouts. And that should be everything. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you would like the video. If you like what I'm doing here on my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.